CS live stream. I'm your host, Dr. Keith Fairclough, and I'm your resident mental health counselor and relationship and emotional intelligence specialist. So today, guys, we're gonna be finishing up this whole series of resentment. And today we're gonna be talking about operating in excellence, right? I'm not gonna hit you with a whole bunch of pleasantries. You guys know where to find me online, all the different social media. Search up my name, it's there, right? Like, subscribe, all that stuff, right? So let's just kind of get into it, right? Because I know we've been waiting a long time to wrap this whole thing up, and I want to move into some of the other live streams about some of the issue and talk about some of the issues that people experience in relationships, and kind of diving a little bit into that and how to solve those issues. So today we're going to be talking about, again, the last part of making sure we can eliminate resentment from relationships altogether. We've talked about regulating our nervous system. We've talked about processing emotions. We've talked about not taking things personal. We talked about forgiveness and compassion. And the last time we talked, with the last live stream we talked about boundaries. And that was on Monday, I believe. And so today we are wrapping up talking about operating in excellence. This is like the seal on everything, right? This is how we remain above reproach so that we could actually talk about some of the situations in our relationships objectively, so that we aren't holding on to resentment. So we're able to take accountability for our actions. So we're able to live in accordance with what our values, morals, and beliefs are, regardless of what our partner does or does not do. And it's critical because it's so often that we allow other people to pull us off from who we are, take us out of character, things of that nature. So if you're operating in excellence, you can no longer you will no longer be pulled out of character. You will no longer allow other people to pull and manipulate your strings or your heartstrings and things like that. You'll be able to stand fast and stand firm on what you stand for, what you believe. You'll be able to speak and share and communicate with the right way. You'll be able to listen the right way, apologize the right way, take ownership the right way. You'll be able to do all of those things, and ultimately, like, master yourself. Again, this is the seal on everything, right? This is the seal on everything we've talked about thus far, because when you put all these things together, resentment disappears from your relationship altogether, right? So let's hop into it. So the first part of operating excellence, right? I think it's really important for us to understand, is that it starts with taking personal responsibility. That means you're not thinking about, oh, what did they do? What did they say? Oh, if they didn't say this or they didn't do that, then we're not doing that anymore. We're not doing that anymore, right? Because guess what? You can't do. You can't control what they do. You can't control what they say. It's completely and totally out of your power. You cannot control it at all, not even a little bit. So therefore, what can you control? You can control what you do, what you say, how you show up, how you regulate, how you think through things, how you listen. Those are the things that you can control. What the enforcing of your boundaries. How long are you going to stay in this conversation? What are you going to allow? What aren't you going to allow? All those things is wrapped up in that first part of taking personal responsibility. That's a huge part of operating excellence, because what it does is you master yourself. And when you master yourself, I try to tell all the people I work with, the couples and individuals, I try to let them know, once you master yourself, you don't have to worry about anybody else. We live in this culture and generation now. We want to put labels on everybody. Everybody's a narcissist. Everybody's, a sociopath. Everybody's this. Everybody's that. Like, we want to put labels on all these different people, as if by putting labels on them, now we know about them, right? Or now we know how to deal with people like that. You don't. You don't. A lot of times people end up in the exact same different types of relationships with the same types of behaviors. And you didn't label the last 5 people, men or women, narcissists. Now you're on number 6. Now it's another narcissist, right? Like, what are we doing with the labels? You don't have to worry about labeling anybody else if you take personal responsibility, because it doesn't matter what they do. It matters what I do. It matters what I say, how I process things, how I own my own behaviors, what kind of boundaries I have, and how I'm enforcing them. Am I enforcing them? The personal responsibility, it's not about blame. It's not about, oh, everything's going to be your fault. Personal responsibility is about power. That's what it's about. Once you start taking personal responsibility for all of your actions, your thoughts, your words, everything in the relationship, then you can actually start making real change. Because then it's like, okay, what can I do better? How can I improve? How can I show up? How can I make sure I maintain my boundaries? So the first part of operating excellence is making sure you are taking personal responsibility for all your actions, your thoughts, your words, your deeds, everything, right? And then when you start doing that, you can start holding yourself accountable, because when you start doing that, then you actually have the power to change, do something different, become someone better, align with your morals and values even better, right? So that's the first part of operating in excellence. All right. The second part of operating in excellence is, it ties into this, what we were just talking about. It's about accountability, right? And it's accountability is not, oh yeah, I did that, or I know my shortcomings, or I know my faults, and just sitting there. Right. That's not accountability. I know a lot of people think that, well, I do own my behaviors. I know I do yell, or I do scream, or I do throw things around, or I threaten to leave the relationship, and I ghost, and I do all these things, like, just because you own it and say that, yeah, I did that, doesn't necessarily mean that it actually means anything. What are you saying, Keith? But I'm owning my behaviors. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? Is to own our behaviors? Yes, we're supposed to own our behaviors, but really owning your behavior means that you actually do something about it. If some bad behavior, some poor behavior has been identified, then you should do something to change that bad behavior. Accountability without change is useless. I'm going to say it one more time. Accountability without change is useless. It does nobody any good. As a matter of fact, it's even worse, because it's one thing for someone to be ignorant and not know. It's a whole other thing for someone to know what they're doing wrong and then make no actions and take no movements to change that behavior. It's almost a slap in the face. It's almost like, yeah, I know I'm doing wrong. I know it's not right, but I'm going to keep doing it. I know I shouldn't be cheating on you, but you know what? I'm still going to keep other girls on my phone. I'm still going to be answering DMs. I'm still going to be, talking to coworkers inappropriately. I'm still going to be doing all these things. I know it's not right, but I'm still going to. That's not accountability. It's almost like a sense of arrogance, but I won't go into all that. Accountability without behavior change is absolutely useless. You got to do something with the information that you have received about your behavior. You get the insight of what your behavior is. You take accountability for it. Yep, I did that. That was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Right? You correct it. Right? Correct whatever the behavior is, and you stay consistent in that correction. Whether it's communication or infidelity or money or whatever the situation is, if you know you did wrong, you should take those steps and you should start working to change them and become different. Realign with your values and your morals. And if you don't have values and morals that align with that, then get some. Upgrade them. Upgrade your standards. But you got to be able to change your behavior. Operating excellence means I'm able to change my behavior to align with my morals, my values, and my beliefs. And if I know it's wrong, let's say I didn't have those morals or values and beliefs. Let's say I use infidelity again as an example. Maybe you grew up seeing people being cheat, and that was normal. And maybe even sometimes there's some people that think cheating is normal in relationships. And I promise you right now, it's not. Not in the sense of that it doesn't happen, in the sense of, oh yeah, it's going to happen, and so therefore I just got to put up with it. That's not normal. It's not the way it's supposed to be. But let's just say, hypothetically speaking, you came up in a situation like that where you saw infidelity and that was a normal thing. It was normalized, right? Well, now it's time to change that, because I'm telling you right now, that's not normal. That's inappropriate, right? You shouldn't be doing that. It's not. Don't try to make excuses and polygamy and all these things. Don't do that. If you're in a committed relationship with someone and it's supposed to be just you and her or you and him, then you shouldn't be with anybody else. And if you're struggling with that, then that means you need to work on your morals and your values and your beliefs and your standards. Improve them, get better with them, live by them. So now you can be consistent with the correction of the behavior. Right? So That's accountability, making sure that you change your behavior that you're now accountable for, right? Now, this next one, this is a really, 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 really important one. Matter of fact, it like permeates all the other ones as well, all these other aspects of operating excellence. Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Not because you're trying to save the relationship, not because you're trying to make somebody happy, not because, I said so, none of that. Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. That's it. That part, that number 3, do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Right? Not because you're trying to get something on the other side. Live in accordance with your beliefs and your values. If you know it's right to use I statements, and use I statements. But Keith, they don't use I statements. It doesn't matter. But Keith, they didn't do this last week. It doesn't matter. But my pastor, it doesn't matter. But this person, it doesn't matter. What is right? It's right to be able to use the I statement. So I'm going to use the I statements. It's right to be able to let somebody know I'm running late. So I'm going to let them know I'm running late. It's right to apologize if I hurt someone unintentionally or even intentionally. It's a right to apologize. But they did something to me. It doesn't matter. We'll get to that. But this is about you living in accordance with your values. It's right for me to apologize when I do the wrong thing. It's right for me to pick up after myself. It's right for me to protect my relationship and not speak to other men and other women inappropriately. It's right for me not to be texting other men and women in the middle of the night, when I'm sitting there next to the person I'm supposed to be in a relationship with, right? Well, if you're married, that's one thing. If you're not married, you shouldn't be in the same bed, but whatever, just saying, right? Do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, right? That's simple, right? Just keep it real simple. Don't worry about what everybody and anybody else is doing. Just do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And if you do that, you will never, ever regret it. You will never regret it. And again, this is all combined with boundaries and forgiveness and compassion, not taking anything. It's all combined with that. So don't have this fear like I'm going to be taken advantage of. We already covered all that. And if you haven't seen those live streams, go back and watch them. Or if you like just catching the shorts, those will be coming out. It's going to be a while before those come out, but those will be coming out within the next month or so, right? So I'm just letting you know that it's covered. You don't have to be scared that I'm going to be taken advantage of if I keep doing that. No, that's what the boundaries are for, right? The boundaries keep you safe, right? Again, go back and watch that live stream, or you can wait for the shorts when they come out, whichever works best for you. All right. Number 4, right? Stop keeping score. Stop keeping score. Don't keep score of the good things. Don't keep score of the bad things. If I'm doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, there's no need for me to keep score about it. There's no need for me to go back and, I got to prove how much I did for you and how little you did for me. No. We never have to do that. We never have to do that. If I'm communicating the right way, I'm listening the right way, I'm taking responsibility, I'm accountable to my own behaviors. If I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I don't have to keep score. I don't have to. If I'm showing you love every single day, I don't have to keep score. I did this. I don't have to keep score. And it's irrelevant. What are you going to do? Throw it in someone's face? No. If you're doing good, great. You're supposed to be doing that because that's in accordance with your values and your beliefs and your morals, like in your standards. That's what you're supposed to do. And if they're messing up and doing the wrong thing, you're supposed to be able to let them know, hey, my needs aren't being met. Or, hey, I need, this is what I need. You're supposed to be sharing that. So there's no need to keep, I don't have to, because I did all these things for you, so you should do this for me. No, we're not doing that. No, because it's not transactional. It's not tit for tat. This is what I need. I need you to help. I need you to meet this need for me. And if they don't want to meet that need for you, then guess what? Then we have a different conversation. Right? Because if your needs aren't being met in your relationship, and of course, when it's marriage, it's a little bit different. But if it's another relationship, then it can be like, if my needs aren't being met, then, and you don't want to meet them, I don't have to go through all those examples of, what I did for you. I don't have to do all that. It's real simple. If you don't want to meet my need, then this isn't going to work. Period. That's it. So there's no need to keep score. So don't waste your time trying to keep a log of everything that was going on. Like that's stressful. For what? Don't waste your time. Don't waste your energy. There's so many other better things you could be focusing your time and energy on. than keeping score on what you did and what they did and how they didn't do it enough. And the last thing about keeping score as well, whoever is going to score themselves lower than somebody else, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to see that. 9 times out of 10, you're going to amplify all the stuff you do, and you're going to minimize all the stuff they do so that you can make your argument. So still don't waste your time keeping score. Operate in excellence. Don't keep score. Set your boundaries. Ask for what your needs are. Sharing that so they can be met. You don't need examples of all the times you showed up. You don't need all that to just ask for your need. That's it. That's it. All right. Also, number 5, right? Excellence means keeping your word. You got to keep your word. I can't stress this enough. Don't promise or say something that you cannot do. But if you say it, follow through. Do the thing you said you're going to do. Do not make empty promise after empty promise after empty promise after empty promise. Oh, it's going to be so good. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. Oh, man. No. Excuse. Oh, well, this happened and that happened. And the sun was up and then the sun was down. And then the door opened and the window closed. And no. If you say it, do it. That's it. If you say it, do it. If you don't think you can do it, if there's something that you think like, I don't know if I can do that, do not promise it. Don't say it. You can say, hey, I will do my best, but I cannot promise you I'll follow through on that. I cannot promise you that because I got a lot on my plate. But again, what I would say, I know the Bible says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. So let's take a step back on what I just said. Let me take a step back on what I just said. If you can do it, promise it, follow through. If you can't do it, say no. If you're on the fence, say no. If you're stressed out, say no. If you're overloaded at work, say no. Sorry, I can't do it. That's it. Sorry, I can't do it. If something frees up or whatever happens, and then maybe you'll so come now, maybe you can go on that date now. Great. She may not be, ready, or whatnot, or she may have other plans, or he may have other plans, or whatever the case may be. It's like, okay, well, I just wanted to let you know. All right, great. But if you can't guarantee that, yes, I can get that done, do not agree to it. Keep your word. When you keep your word, when you follow through consistently, that builds trust, it builds a reliability, it builds safety. And while this is phenomenal for both men and women, guys, remember what we talked about in previous live streams. Women crave security and safety. That's what they want. So yes, this is good for both, but just keep that in mind, gentlemen, that it's even that much more amplified for women. So just put that out there. Keep your word, right? Your partner shouldn't have to force you to do it either. Do it because, again, it's the right thing to do. I might just keep going back to that. I might just keep going back to over and over again. Okay. Number 6, fix your mistakes quickly. Correct them quickly. If you say something that you shouldn't have said, apologize immediately, right? If you do something you shouldn't have done, own it immediately. Not half-heartedly, but really apologize. State the situation and whether the offense took place. State the emotion that you understand that it created in the other person. State and reframe, and summarize why that situation created that emotion. And then the last part's to repair. Talk about how you're going to fix it if you can. But you got to make sure you own it and apologize. And here's the secret about apologizing as well and owning your behaviors. Here's a secret that, a lot of people don't talk about. A lot of times we think that when we own our behavior and we apologize, that we lose something, that we look weak, or that we're losing our position or something along those lines. It's the complete opposite. It's the complete opposite. The sooner you own your behavior, the closer you guys get and the better you look in someone else's eyes. The more you dig your heels in and make excuses for your poor behavior, the worse you look in somebody's eye. The more distance there is between you, the less they trust you, the less they want to open up to you. So don't believe this lie like, I got to hold my ground. No, the sooner you apologize, the better. My bad. I shouldn't have said that. That's on me. I'm sorry about that. Hey, I know I snapped at you. The way that came out, hey, I shouldn't have done that. I had a long day. I just wasn't thinking. Own it immediately, quickly, as fast as humanly possible, right? Do not let those things linger. Fix it as quickly as you possibly can. Learn from your mistakes, all that, but fix it as quickly as you possibly can. That's another aspect of operating in excellence. Number 7, right? Choose the relationship even when you don't, when it's inconvenient, or sometimes when you don't want to. Choose a relationship. Right? Choose a relationship even if you don't want to at times. Now, granted, this is all under the guise of you're operating in excellence, that you're having your boundaries, you're doing all that stuff, right? I'm not going to run through everything, but you're doing everything you're supposed to do. Sometimes, you're going to be asked to something, right? And maybe you don't feel like doing it, but just bear in mind, hey, if this is going to make the relationship better, you know what? I can pull a little bit more energy out. Maybe I can work a couple of more shifts, or maybe I can do whatever it is because it's going to make the relationship better. I don't feel like doing it. I kind of want to sit back, but I'll do it. There's something about living for something and striving for something that's bigger than ourselves, right? And the sum of both of us in our relationship is greater than the whole, right? Kind of that synergistic effect, 1+1 = 3 type thing. Right. So sometimes we don't feel like it. Sometimes we're gonna be tired. I'll give you a quick story. There was and this is like more like relationship slash family type, but this was I think one of the last years we were in Florida, I think 2019. There was supposed to be a hurricane coming through. It was like 10 o'clock at night. My wife was like, "Oh my gosh, please put the hurricane shutters up." I didn't think anything was gonna happen, and nothing did happen. But she was like, "Please put the hurricane shutters up." I didn't want to put them up. I didn't think anything would happen. I thought everything would be fine. But she said, "You know what? It makes her feel safe. I'll go ahead and do it." Worked the whole night through. Mind you, I've been up early that day. So it was like 10 o'clock at night. Started at 10. I didn't get done till like 6, 7 in the morning. But mission accomplished, right? Because the relationship was important. My wife was important. So had to make sure I got that done. So sometimes you're going to have to pull it, really pull it out and really, give your all, even if you don't feel like it, because the relationship is worth it, right? All right. Now, and this isn't really a last one because this really kind of fits in with the whole thing, but I really just kind of wrap it up, which is, I guess, is kind of good timing because I have a session coming up soon. So, again, operating excellence, guys, it protects you from resentment. It does, right? Why? Because when you're putting all these things together, right? I guess this is the grand finale, right? You're putting all these things together. Again, you're able to regulate yourself. That means you stay in your right mind. You know how to process your emotions, so you know what you feel. You already know how to communicate. You're not taking things personal, right? You're making sure that you're having compassion and forgiveness on the shortcomings of your partner, and then you're setting boundaries, and you're teaching boundaries, and you're enforcing boundaries normally so that you can stay protected, right? Because you shouldn't be just getting beat up. And then now this part right here this is like the operating system. Now this is how I'm operating and moving at all times. And I'm moving in accordance with my values and my beliefs and my morals and my standards. And so I'm going to make sure I'm controlling my behavior because I can't control anything my partner does. You can't control your wife. You can't control your husband, your boyfriend. You cannot control them. You can only control yourself. And that's all you ever have to control and all you ever need to control. You don't have to control anybody else. So once you guys can do this, once you start operating in excellence, start doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, everything else just falls into place. Okay. So that's all I got for you guys, regarding that, piece it all together. Like I said, the shorts will be coming out probably in a couple of months for this one here, because we got a pretty big backlog. But yeah, guys, operate in excellence. Don't eliminate resentment from your life. Don't carry that weight. Don't carry that burden. There's no need to. It doesn't do any benefit. It doesn't do you any good. Operate in excellence at all times. If you remember nothing else from this live stream, do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Because that honestly sums everything else up. Everything else up. The personal responsibility, the keeping your word, the correcting things when you make a mistake, the not keep a score, operating in excellence, is summed up honestly by just doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Right. So you guys take care. Have a great, awesome, and blessed day. If you ever need anything, you need me. Again, my handles are all over the place: YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. Although we're not live streaming to Instagram right now, but it's all over the place, right? If you need me, I'm not hard to find, right? So y'all take care. Have a great, awesome, and blessed day. And again, we'll be back. We'll be next week talking about different topics, regarding relationships and how to navigate them. Things that we're facing right now, in our culture and in our time. So y'all take care. Have a great, awesome, and blessed day. And always, always, always remember that you are not alone. Take care.